Hello, I'm Pastor Dwayne Jesse, pastor at Zion Lutheran Church in Youngstown, Ohio, and I've been asked to tell you about a cluster-wide stewardship campaign that the Mahoning County Lutheran Cluster put together in 2015. The campaign was hosted simultaneously by the 6 congregations of the Mahoning County Lutheran Cluster: Bethel in Boardman, Lord of Life in Canfield, Prince of Peace in Poland, Christ in Struthers, Martin Luther in Youngstown, and Zion in Youngstown. Together, we are known as the Mahoning County Lutheran Cluster. A little background will help you understand the development of the We Are campaign. At the conclusion of Journey Forward, the same group of congregations who had already been doing cooperative confirmation together for 3 years asked ourselves what we could do next to mine the resources of our congregations. Each of us honestly offered our strengths and weaknesses. The other congregations, excluding Zion, said that stewardship was a serious weakness. I personally offered that stewardship campaigns were a personal vocational strength of mine. Together, the Mahoning County Lutheran Cluster agreed to allow me to lead and demonstrate how to develop a high-value campaign. The Mahoning County Lutheran Cluster formed a task team to come up with ideas, and the winner was to base a campaign on the presiding Bishop Eaton's We Are emphases. You'll remember these. We are church, we are Lutheran, we are church together, and we are church for the sake of the world. A member of Christ who is a graphic artist came up with campaign art, a stylized version of the ELCA's globe with people from our various congregations featured in the segments of the globe. That graphic was then used for promotional posters that we had printed in a larger format than this that we were able to post all around our buildings. It was also used to develop letterhead that we had for every congregation. We used it for campaign invitation letters, campaign announcement letters. We used it for bulletin covers for the 4 weeks of worship. I don't have one of those to give you or to show you as an illustration. And we also, inside the bulletin, had an insert that had that graphic on it and questions for each week. These questions were thought-provoking questions that the members could ponder for themselves. Then we had a campaign conclusion letter that was on the letterhead, and along with that campaign letter came the commitment card, all with the We Are graphic logo. A member of Zion, Aaron Jesse, my son, was contracted to put together a series of videos based on questions we developed that were asked of the members of those congregations in a candid, spontaneous format. The videos were then used as sermon starters. He has done stewardship videos for me at Zion a couple of times before. I composed the campaign announcement and conclusion letters, as well as wrote model sermons that were given to the other pastors as examples of what I think are good and appropriate stewardship products, given the program that we chose. They could do as they felt was appropriate with them. Some used them as is, customizing the specifics for their context. Others, I'm sure, tossed them aside and went their own way. Throughout the campaign, I directed the participating congregations on what they must do to keep the campaign on the forefront of the minds of the congregation. After the campaign was over, we did some lessons learned, and here are some interesting facts. Though there are a number of ways that the videos could have been presented to the congregation as intended, as sermon starters, for example, some congregations and pastors rejected the technology in worship aspect altogether. Others were reluctant to distribute commitment cards because their congregations had never done that before. Some of the congregations were unable to determine the effectiveness of the campaign based on any real quantifiable results. In other words, they didn't have data from years past to know if this campaign had yielded any results. All congregational members enjoyed the videos and seeing their fellow Lutherans and their churches presented in a professional way that they could have never afforded as individual congregations. By the way, a member of Zion who owns a printing company did all the print material in bulk, and then each congregation applied for a Thrive in Action Team grant of $250 that paid for all the expenses. So the end result was that the campaign was completed at no cost to the participating congregations. In conclusion, the results were all positive that we could quantify. However, since there was not across-the-board participation, some congregations did not necessarily follow all the recommended steps, it's difficult to quantify success. Indeed, some congregations had not had a stewardship campaign in recent memory, so it was difficult to identify any increase. Speaking of Zion alone, we got a 13% increase in commitment that year, and that was on top of a 3-year capital campaign that ended in 2016. So I was very pleased. Well, we never throw anything away at Zion, so if any of you would like to see any of this print material again, just ask me and I will email the products to you. Same with the sermons, although they are pretty specific to the campaign. And the videos are still available to watch as well. Just go to the website zionohio.org and click on the Photos/Videos tab, and then click on the We Are videos. Good to talk to you. I hope you have some interesting questions for me.